There we are. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Heed Army podcast coverage here of the National League game between Gateshead and Woking. So you are joining us here. It's a lovely day, as you can see on the camera there. We've got the Tyne and Wear stand camera on. We'll have it on during the game. We'll just thought we'd introduce us because Charlotte's got her sunglasses on. We want to show how tropical it was here this afternoon.
That's the reason.
That's the reason. Not that she's got a stonking headache. But, well, let's see. One thing to say is that it is fully interactive here. You can send us your messages. Please do. And like and subscribe. I'll be telling you to do that all the way throughout. We've just got a few players. Ian Watson's leaving a pitch there to a nice round of applause from the Tyne and Wear stand here as both sets of players start to make their way off the pitch for their final instruction before coming out for the start of the game. We do have the teams here. We'll go through them very, very shortly. But please do share the stream, let everyone know that we're on, and hopefully we can have a good time together here this afternoon. Gateshead looking to get back to winning ways against Woking. Woking 8th place in the table. They're looking to get into the playoffs. Gateshead looking to get themselves towards mid-table. It's all to play for. It's all going to be good. But Charlotte, before we go any further, we'll just have a little look here. We'll put it up on screen. I'll put that on there like that. And Tuesday night, Gateshead got through in the FA Cup. It wasn't a pretty one, to be honest, but it was a battling performance. But injuries still stacking up.
Yeah, that's not good. But then again, you listen to Ian Watson's interview in the middle of the week, and once we get these injuries back, we're just going to be so much stronger, and it's just going to give the boys a huge lift.
It certainly is. And one of the positives that come through on Tuesday night was Adam Campbell getting back amongst the goals. The first goal was an absolute gift. We'll be seeing it shortly. And Jack McGragan had a bit of fun with this on social media, saying the best goal ever scored at Gateshead International Stadium. It's coming up very, very shortly. But Charlotte, have you seen the goal? This one?
I've seen the one where he pressed aggressively, but I don't think I've seen this one, no.
Well, this is we'll see in a second. It's going to come on just here. So remember, you can send us messages here on the Heed Army podcast right the way throughout the broadcast. There's quite a few Woking fans made their way on the far side. I think 220 to 250 they're expecting to come here today and see the game here at Tyneside. That was Robbie Tinker taking the shot there on the highlights from Tuesday night. Unfortunately, he isn't involved. He's actually on with an elbow crutch today, so that's looking a little bit worrying. Hopefully it isn't a broken metatarsal, but we'll find out more in due course, but definitely not involved today. And we'll see. We are going to get the highlights.
Be a big miss.
He certainly is. Lyra Kasani is going to be replacing him in that right back position. And it is going to be a very big miss.
Yeah, he's a leader, but we're quite lucky in the fact that we've got quite a few leaders on the pitch. So,
yeah, well, say a big mention to Carl Magny, who was magnificent on Tuesday night. It was like having another captain, and he has been that way for a couple of weeks as well. Has big Carl Magny, and I think this might be the goal here where it's coming up on the highlights. Remember, subscribe to Gateshead FC TV. You'll see these highlights first. See you're getting all the action as it happens, but the ball here is going to be pinged forward. Oh, nope, I thought it was a little bit higher on the highlights. Here it is. This is the first one, and this is just great pressure from Gallagher as the ball goes over the top. He's chasing it down, and awful communication between the defender and the goalkeeper. There you go, comes across, goalkeeper. Yes. There you go, and just walks it into the back of the net.
That was the one that I seen, and I think I made a comment also on social media how, as a defender myself, when you get someone pressed that aggressively, it gives you no time to think.
Yeah, and I felt for the goalkeeper because he did he feigned injury afterwards. I think there's a blame for what had happened, but he did go down awkward when he tried to stretch. I think he was caught in between going for a save and then goes to kick it, changed his mind. There you go. But they all count.
He's frightened them.
Yeah, they all count. But the next one is an absolute peach from Adam Campbell. The ball from Bailey and the run from Adam Campbell is absolutely sublime. He was, the Radio Alti that were next to us on Tuesday evening, they thought it was offside initially, and I think it was just a perfectly timed. I didn't think at the time it was offside at all, but here you are. This is where the ball comes. Bailey looks up, sees the run. There you go. He's on there. Beautiful stuff.
What a ball.
Just takes him through. Lovely finish. and that
So calm.
hopefully we can see more of that this afternoon. And as I say, we'll take them highlights down. For now, we're going to remove us as well. So you're not going to have our beautiful faces, but you're going to have our beautiful voices. So we'll give a wave goodbye. There we go. The Time and Waste stand will be on for you here. So if you see anyone you know, message and let them know. We have got a message already. Liv Walden has put 1 second. There we go. Good afternoon. Looks lovely and bright. It is. It's nigh on tropical here for the time of year. But this is how Woking line up this afternoon. It's Craig Cross in goal, Kieran Lofthouse, the captain Josh Casey, Scott Cuthbert, Luke Wilkinson, James Daly, Rhys Grego-Cox, Patrick Armand, Dan Moss, Jermaine Anderson and Rowan Ince. On the bench is Joe McCreary, Ricky Corboa, Rhys Brown, Jim Killerman and Jake Wilkins. And for Gateshead, this is how they line up this afternoon. Dan Langley in goal wearing number 1. Lyra Kasani will be at right back with a centre-back pairing of Carl Magny and Jevon Mills. Luke Daly will be at left back, then a midfield of Conter, Bailey, Ollie and Jarvis, and then you've got Campbell and Owen Gallagher up top. And on the bench, James Montgomery, Paul Blackett, Dan Ward, Aaron Martin and Adi Youssef. A very attacking bench there. No defenders there, so you hope that we don't get a knock at the back this afternoon. And we were talking about that before we came on, Charlotte. It's imperative to get through this game without any injuries.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, so we are just waiting for the teams to come out. One thing I'd like to say, I'll mention it again later on in case they haven't tuned in yet, but Jan and Michael Hood, they're listening in from Cyprus this afternoon. We hope you're having a lovely holiday. Seen some snaps on Facebook this morning. Look like they're having a lovely time, but they are tuning in today and hopefully their heat fix is good. But as you can see there, he's not walking very well, is Mr. Robbie Tinkler. He's got a smile on his face, but he's walking very gingerly with that elbow crutch, and that doesn't look good, does it?
It doesn't at all. And I mean, you know, you don't really see it in the times of adversity, but the amount of positives that come once the adversity is over, it's going to make this team have so much more strength and character. And for those who are battling on the pitch, for those who are injured, when they come back, they're going to have a massive lift.
Well, when on Tuesday night, the resolve that was shown from the makeshift back four, of course, Jevon Mills is a centre-back, he slotted in all right. But then when you had Lyra Kasani had to go in at right back, he was a little bit shaky at first, and they attacked that side to get their goal in the first half. But in the second half, he settled down and played a good game at right back. And so the positives are there. The young lads are coming on loan, Jevons, I keep calling him Jevons, in Mills and Daly. Obviously, they're getting out of their clubs are getting what they want out of it. They want them to progress, and we're getting it as well. We're getting them to get good performances. So that is the what you hope from any loan, that both sides get something out of it. And in the minute we are, and that's the positives we've got to take.
And I mean, as a young player as well, you go into a different position, you're learning the game from a completely new angle. It benefits you when you go back into your position.
Definitely. And we've got more people from around the world. There we go. Oslo calling. Give me 3 points today, David. Well, I can't give you the 3 points, but the team can. So fingers crossed. Also, as well, if you're a Woking fan, please do message in. We're not too rose tinted here on the commentary. We'd like to hear from you as well. Let us know where you're listening from in the world. So we know we've got Norway, we've got Cyprus. Is there anywhere else? Let us know. Message in, and we'll give you a shout out here on the commentary. As you can see, people just making their way around the stand there. And if you do see anybody send them a message and tell them to wave, because that's what it's all about. And just while we're on, we do want you to like our social media. And here's a little advert on how to do it. And we'll be back with you in a second.
The Heat Army podcast needs your help. No, we don't need money. All we need is you to do one simple thing. It'll take less than a second. If you could hit that like button, the subscribe button, and share whatever post that we put up regarding Gateshead Football Club, it'll go a long way in helping the show build and ultimately helping us push the club to the moon.
Well, there we go. We are back. That is, would like to do that. If you could subscribe as well, it would be fantastic. And give us a thumbs up. We want to reach more people. And we've got Portugal. We are absolutely international here this afternoon from Gateshead International Stadium. And as I say that, Mike Williamson and Ian Watson make their way out to the dugout. A fine round of applause from the Tyne Weir stand. And Paul Blackett is there as well, which is another good thing. He came on, had a fantastic second half on Tuesday. Obviously not fully fit to do 90 minutes, but will we see him this afternoon? I think we just might. Right, I'll go through the Woking side again before they come out. It's Craig Cross in goal. Kieran Lofthouse wearing number 3. I'll start again. Craig Cross wearing number 13. Kieran Lofthouse wearing number 2. Josh Casey, the captain, wearing number 3. Scott Cuthbert, number 4. Luke Wilkinson, number 5. James Daly, number 8. Rhys Grego Cox, number 9. Padraig Armand, number 10. Dan Moss, number 12. Jermaine Anderson, 23. And Rowan Ince wearing number 24. Number 5 on the bench is Joe McKerney. And Ricky nearly said Balboa there for some reason. Ricky Carboa wearing number 9. Oh, there's 2 number 9s in this team here. I'm sure that one of them must be 19. That must be a misprint. Rhys Brown, number 14. And Jim Kilman, 17. And Jake Wilkins, 29. And we'll go for the Gateshead team when they come out. But remember, fully interactive. Send us your messages. Let us know where you're listening from. And say like, subscribe, and help us reach more people. And just having a little look around, the corporate is filling up nicely as well. It looks like we're going to have a good crowd here. And looking across towards the far stand opposite us in the east stand, there is about 220 to 250 Woking fans they're expecting here today. And they're in absolute sunshine over there, which is rather nice. There'll not be many fans will have that this year. Well, so we are waiting the teams to come out. You've still got a little bit of time to make that cup of tea or open that can of pop, that is.
All right, there, Dave.
Yeah, just in case you're underage and you think, oh,
Are you choking on your pop there?
yeah, in case the Heat Army podcast have given you permission to drink an alcoholic beverage, we haven't. Just to get out of jail there. Well. But if you all just joined us, the pitch is absolutely bathed in sunshine here. It is very, very warm for the time of year. You wouldn't think we're past mid-October here, Charlotte. It's quite tropical for the time of year.
Yeah, it doesn't feel that cold.
It certainly doesn't. Well, I'll say there's a few cameras there on the touchline looking to get the pictures of the tunnel as the players come out. We can't be too far away. We're only about 2 minutes away from kick-off. And you won't miss a kick here on the Heat Army podcast live. And I forgot to introduce myself. My name's David Garrison. I'm sat here with Newcastle United ladies player Charlotte Potts. Well, the teams are coming out now, and in goal is Dan Langley, Lyra Kasani, Carl Magny, Jevon Mills, Luke Daly, Camille Conter, Owen Bailey, Adam Campbell, Greg Ollie the captain, Dan Jarvis and Owen Gallagher. On the bench is James Montgomery, Paul Blackett, Dan Ward, Aaron Martin and Adi Youssef. And that is how we line up. Gateshead in their grey strip, black shorts, white socks, and Woking. They're not in their red and white, they're in yellow and blue. So, well, their goalkeeper is in bright orange. Gateshead's goalkeeper's in bright pink. You never get a decent green strip these days, Charlotte.
I've not seen a green strip in a while.
Yeah, I'm a stickler for that. I like to see my goalkeeper in a green strip. Since
I was at Hibs.
Yeah, yes.
But that wasn't the nicest green. It was like a grass green.
No. But I'm a stickler like that. I like my goalkeepers in all green.
Bright.
As long as it's green. But see, the teams are just going through a final little warm up there. A bit more of an intense one from Woking down to our left hand side. Gateshead hovering around the centre circle, waiting for the referee to come up for the coin toss as the assistants check the nets. And did you see midweek the fiasco? Was it at, I can't remember where it was at. Was it at West Brom where they had to cut the goalposts down?
Not
They were
heard of
too
that,
big.
yeah.
Yeah, they had to trim 2 inches off. We are going to have a minute's silence here at Gateshead National Stadium for a young footballer that tragically lost his life earlier in the month. That's a minute's applause, actually. So we'll turn the microphones towards the crowd and we'll observe this very shortly once everyone's on the centre circle. Wow, a minute's applause superbly given there here at Gateshead International Stadium as Greg Ollie and Josh Casey are with the referee for the coin toss at the moment. We'll let you know which way they're shooting momentarily, but this will be a very tough game because obviously Woking, they're up that end of the table, they're challenging, and they've got some very decent players in there. Well, looks like we're changing ends here. Gateshead will be shooting towards the Felon end and Woking will be shooting towards the River Tyne here at Gateshead International Stadium.
They don't get that experience very often.
No, it's happened a little bit lately. There has been a few teams that have opted to shoot different ways. It is fairly calm here today. The wind isn't too bad. Looking at the trees around the ground, it's not as...
Or they've just done their homework.
Maybe. But Gateshead are kicking off. So Adam Campbell stands over the ball. I think it might be going to go across to the right hand side of the pitch. Those Hassani and Jarvis look like they're going to sprint up the touchline here. Once we get underway. Remember, fully interactive, you can send us your messages. Let us know where you listen from the world. We've got Portugal, Cyprus and Norway so far. Where are you listening? And we're underway now as Bailey plays it across to Daly, who gets past his man. Now he pumps it over the top, looking for the run of Gallagher, but it's been headed clear. Conter picks up midfield, played forward by Ollie, finds Campbell. Campbell tries to thread the ball through, does get it to Gallagher. Gallagher has to carry it out to the left-hand side, though, next to the touchline. Plays it down the line to Daly. Daly can play it inside to Campbell. Campbell flicks it forward, but read well by Woking and cleared. But Jevon Mills puts it right back up into the defensive line where Ollie was standing. Plays the ball off a Woking player and wins a throw in about 10 yards from the corner flag on the far side. That's been a positive start in the first minute. And we've got Darren Walden listening from the middle of the Irish Sea. So another pin in the map there. As the throw to Bailey. Bailey plays it back to Mills. Mills ball across to Magny was a little bit slow there, but Magny managed to clear it. And there we go. We've had a little bit of interference there. Apologies. Balls went out for a Gateshead throw. Gateshead goal kick even. Well, waiting for Langley to place the ball down. He's got Jevons and Magnius showing for him inside the box. Woken and the close down, but Langley's going to go along with this one. Fires it up towards Bailey, but out of play it goes in between the dugouts.
Woken setting that press up really nicely there.
Casey launches the ball down quickly, and Jevon Mills, lovely stuff, just gets in front of Gregor Cox and sees the ball out for a goal kick.
Yeah, you're hearing the Woken defender shout, "Stay high." They're not going to let Gateshead play out from the back today by the looks of it.
No, they're yeah, and camped out on the halfway line at the minute here, waiting for this ball to come up, and now it's going to be headed clear, headed on, and Ollie just manages to nip in front of Armand there. Now it's played back to Langley, who plays it out, and Ollie's poor ball across, and now Woken can bring the ball forward. Lofthouse cuts it over, and it's went in, wide. How did he not put that in the back of the net? I think it was Armand, but Ollie's poor pass.
Gateshead very, very lucky there.
Played themselves into trouble.
It looks like Woken have done their homework and studied how Gateshead play out from the back when they do play out, and they're really pressing aggressively. And we are known for errors at the back by playing missed passes.
Well, we showed the goal on Tuesday night from our pressing. They're going to have to stay switched on, as we don't want it to happen to ourselves. As Conter plays it back to Jevons. Jevon Mills plays it over the top now, and it's a foot race. Campbell, Gallagher gets in front of it though, takes it to the right-hand side of the box. He needs some support. His turn, plays it back down the line to Bailey. Bailey plays it inside to Ollie. He's got space, dinks it over the top to Campbell, and it's been put out for a throw. Good break there from Gateshead.
That was an exciting break. Very impressed with Gallagher's upper body strength there, holding the centre backs off and really protecting that ball.
Well, Hassani with the throw. He's got it to Gallagher. Gallagher's ball didn't get through to Ollie, and it's been cleared. Magnier wins the header, brought down in midfield, but Hassani can nip in front and get the second ball. His ball forward only finds Anderson. Now Casey, the captain, plays the ball up the line, headed on by Gregor Cox, but Jevon Mills is there to put it out for a throw here on the left-hand side. And now Armand has the ball, but he's going to wait for Casey to trot up the line to take it. It's about level with the corner of the box here on the left-hand side of the pitch. Casey gets it back. And now played forward by Daly and Moss. It's inside, but Conter picks it up in midfield. Now can he play the ball through? Jarvis intercepted it, but ran into two yellow shirts, and now it can be built up from the back by Wokeners. Well, team sheet has got, there's no number 6 on the back there. Oh, there's a player with number 6 on his back, not on the team sheet. So
it's the potential number 9.
Yeah, we know there is a number 9 on the pitch. That is Gregor, but we'll endeavour to find it out. But Ollie on the right-hand side of the box pulls it back across and shot off by Jarvis. He had a gaping goal to aim at, and he just pulls it wide. He didn't put any power on it.
His reaction there, he's just slapped his own hand. He'll be very disappointed in that. It was a very simple finish.
Yeah, we'll endeavour to find out who number 6 is. Team sheet wrong. Well, I'm going to hazard a guess that it's Luke Wilkinson, because that's a number 5, and I can't say number 5 out there. So if any Woken fans are tuning in, you can let us know. As Jarvis receives the ball, Conter nods it forward. Played over the top by Anderson, but nodded out by Gateshead up the pitch. Armand heads it towards Gregor Cox. Bailey wins the header, but it manages to be cleaned up at the back by Gateshead, and the poor ball out by Daly now can be passed into the middle. Hassani intercepts in the box. It was a crucial interception and clears the ball, and Gateshead just happy to get the ball clear there as Hassani loses out in the battle for the ball as Casey tries to play it inside, but Magnier deflected it back, cleared all the way back up to Craig Ross. A little bit scrappy from Gateshead. They need to hold the shape a little bit better. As now Ball played forward, down the line, looking for the run of Gregor Cox, who is battling with Ollie. Well, no, it isn't Ollie, it's Jevon Mills. Well.
And we've seen Carl Magnet with Jevon Mills there, 2v2. Just noticed Magnet is trying to communicate with Hassani. Woking are really playing high here.
Yeah, they're not letting Gateshead build as they normally like to, and they're not going to win many of the aerial battles either with that the size of the back line compared to Gateshead's attack. Notice that Bailey is going into that familiar position where Robbie Tinkler would normally go to win the headers on the right-hand side here as the ball goes forward up towards him, but he misses the header. It's nodded on by Cuthbert. Put over the top for Gateshead to try and run onto. Dan Jarvis chases the ball over, but Moss manages to get it forward, and now they break through with Lofthouse driving forward on the right-hand side. He's got the man on the outside who he uses. It's going to be crossed in by Moss, and it's put out for a corner. And that just shows you how dangerous they can be on the break. Woking really opened up down the right-hand side.
Two big centre-halves getting up for the corner here.
Yeah, Wilkinson and Cuthbert are coming up.
Seem to have an exceptional relationship.
Rowan Ince is quite the target to aim for as well, isn't he? Number 24. Of course, played in the Premier League, Rowan Ince. As this ball comes in towards Rowan Ince, who didn't get on it and puts it wide. The referee took his time there to decide what he was going to give.
That was a dangerous in-swinger.
Well, Patrick Armand seems to have got a whack in the face. Let's keep touching his forehead there. Must be stinging a little bit. But we have the goal kick now as Langley pumps it up towards Bailey. Bailey goes up, loses out to Cuthbert in the aerial battle. Armand dispossessed by Hassani. Hassani tries to turn his man, and now the break, unfortunately for Woking, is stopped because Daly runs the ball out of play. Throw in quickly taken, Conter under pressure, plays it back to Langley. Langley clears the ball. Ollie gets in front of Anderson, and now can Gateshead get the ball forward as Gallagher just dispossessed, and Rowan Ince has the ball. Gateshead win it back though. Was he fouled? Yes, free kick to Gateshead. Gallagher brought down by Rowan Ince. And it's in the centre circle, inside the Woking half. Well, at times, Gateshead do look dangerous on the attack when they break, and just need to be a bit more clinical when they get the ball. As now, twisting and turning on the far side. As now it's been cleared by Woking, but Jevon Mills picks up the ball. Gives it to Ollie. Ollie turns, gives it back to Ollie. Ollie now plays it out to the left-hand side. Can this ball be crossed in? It's pulled back. Oh, Gallagher tried to flick it. It's been cleared. And it's going to bounce out for a throw at the Gateshead halfway inside the Woking half on the far side. That's a bit better. We had the defence panic in there.
Gallagher looking a real threat today. Every time he gets the ball, it's as though something's going to be created.
Oh, Ollie should need. He thinks there was a nick on that. He thinks there's a corner. It is. It has. It's been given as a corner. Couldn't see from here, but he appealed straight away. And Gateshead have a corner on the far side. Oh, Jevon Mills makes his way up, as does Carl Magnet. A lot of players on the edge of the box here for Gateshead. I think there's going to be some late runs in as this ball is about to be delivered by Greg Ollie. A lot of movement now, running around. It's went short though to Daly. Daly whips it in, and it's been headed clear only as far as Jarvis, who puts the ball in there, and Campbell was just at the back, but beaten in the air to it. And now Daly turns his man, still inside the Woking half, but he's under pressure. And as he brought the player down, he was dispossessed, and he brought down Gregor Cox there. And it's a free kick just inside their own half for Woking. They're a little bit quicker on the press on the minute.
Yeah. You're
Well, they're
saying,
committing a lot of men forward here for a free kick on the halfway line. They're using this almost like a set piece. Well, they are. It's they've only got 2 men back, and that's the free kick taker and Moss, apart from the goalkeeper, of course. But here it goes right to the edge of the box, and Langley comes out, didn't fist it as well there, and
well reacted by Owen Bailey there.
Owen Bailey heads it behind for a corner, but Langley really needed to do better there. He didn't do that with much conviction, did he?
Not at all. There was actually an opportunity for him to catch that.
Yeah.
Obviously, you look at the height advantage of Woking, but Dan Langley, he's still a foot taller than the majority of them.
Well, corner here, and the captain Casey will be taking this one. It's on our left-hand side here. In it comes, left-footed, across Magnay, heads it clear, only as far as Wilkinson on the far side of the box. Wilkinson plays it off Bailey for another corner, this time at the other end. With the other side, should I say. 14 minutes gone, 0-0 here. Open game. You would say that the pressure from Woking is just having a bit more dividends than what's happening for Gateshead, but you wouldn't say that they're that far ahead, possession-wise. But
no, not at all. I just think they look a little bit more experienced. They're slowing the game down at necessary moments.
Well, got another one coming from Casey. In it comes. This one swing towards the back there, and this time it gets punched clear. Only as far as Jermaine Anderson. Jermaine Anderson puts it right back in, but way too much on it, and behind it goes for a goal kick.
And Adam Campbell's pressed done enough to put him off.
Well, we are waiting for Langley to take this. Just we'll mention again, because I mentioned it in the build-up. They might not have been listening, but Jan and Michael Hood listening on holiday from Cyprus. So we hope they're having a lovely time. Of course, we've got Arvid in Norway, and we've got Darren in the middle of the Irish Sea, and we've got Cow Daly in Portugal. So let us know where you're listening from. As the ball comes over the top, lovely header on by Bailey, but just got through it. The keeper got there in front of the oncoming Gallagher. His kick's a long one. Jevon Mills wins the header, but it's going to fall to... He does very well. And Lofthouse has went down. Free kick. It's about 35 yards out here, right-hand side. And Lofthouse was wiped out there.
I mean, you got to be careful, Gateshead here. They're looking really threatening in the aerial attacks, Woking are, and you can't really afford to give cheap free kicks away like this in dangerous areas.
Well, Daly getting a little talking to from the referee there. As Lofthouse was about to open up, and now Casey stands over the ball. You've got the big men up there again, Wilkinson, Cuthbert, and Rowan Ince. Add in the height of Lofthouse as well. He's not too short. Rowan Ince trying to pull defenders out. He's moved further across here, the back of the oncoming the players. In it comes towards the goalkeeper. Magnay heads it behind him, only as far, and it's shot off from Armand, and it didn't. Well, it was dipping, but it didn't dip enough, and it goes over the crossbar just.
Dan Langley just looking calm enough that was going to be going over the crossbar there.
Well, Cow Daly's he'd be listening from the moon if we were able to get 3 points. Never mind Portugal. Well, it's 0-0 at the moment. Into the 16th minute, nearly into the 17th, as the ball is kicked up by Langley. Conter wins it in midfield. Nice. Dan Jarvis carries the ball forward. He's had to turn on himself though. Still going, Jarvis. Jarvis gets it to Ollie. Oh.
Bailey's got
Campbell tried to flick
over.
it. Yeah, and we've got Owen Bailey's been opened up here. He's bleeding and he's hanging his head over so he doesn't have to change his strip.
I think it's too late for that. It's all over.
Yeah, so we've got a break in play here. We've got a clash of heads for the header before where Owen Bailey has been caught. And, well...
And it's not what we would need right now.
Certainly not. Let's hope we can be bandaged together and carry on. We'll take this moment to say thank you everyone that is tuned in. If you could like and subscribe. It would be absolutely fantastic. Help us reach more people. And of course, join us. I think we might be doing a show Monday night to preview the Scunthorpe United game on Tuesday. So if you like and subscribe to all our social media, we'll be able to you'll be able to find out when we're broadcasting, and we'll see you on the next podcast. So please do join us. Well, Langley, he came over as well. Players taking a chance to take on some fluids. Also as well, if you've got young children in the Gateshead area and you'd like to take them to a Halloween party on Thursday at Bensham Grove, there is a Halloween spectacular with the Gateshead Foundation, so why not get yourselves booked along to that? I know my children are going, so should be very good. I think there's a few tickets remaining. They're free as well. So go on the Gateshead FC Foundation social media or our website and you'll see links to that. Well, we're still waiting for Owen Bailey to receive treatment here. I think he's going to obviously have to leave the pitch and we'll continue. I think Dan Ward's coming on. I think it's too bad. So unfortunately, that looks like we might have seen the end of Owen Bailey this afternoon. And well, we'll confirm that very shortly. He has come back to the bench. I think he's getting his shin pads there, Wardy. And just when we said we couldn't deal with any more injuries, let's hope it's just a mere flesh wound and not a concussion or anything like that. Well, still waiting to find out if we are going to have a change, but Ward is still standing around and stretching against the dugout. Yes, we've got the substitute board here. So Dan Ward will be going to be making entry here to the play, and he's the only midfielder on the bench as well. So this is the second game in a row where Gateshead have had to make a substitution in the first half, forced through injury. And, 20 minutes have gone. There's going to be some stoppages added on at the end here. And it's a shame because Owen Bailey's been playing well of late, and we don't want to see him out of action.
He has. He's been a key player in key moments also, not just on the game as a whole.
Well, we know that Dan Ward will give everything when he comes on.
Yeah, he's a hard-working midfielder, and he's really willing to cover as much ground as possible. And you know, Gateshead, we're known for having togetherness and character, and that's something that I've seen from the Tuesday night game all over Twitter was character. Can they come together now and show that character today?
Well, let's certainly hope so. I don't know where he's going to go. Maybe we might see Dan Jarvis drop a little bit deeper here into midfield. We'll find out as the game gets back underway, but he is coming on. He's getting some tactics there from Louis Story, the player coach. Of course, is out injured himself with a foot injury. As we wait, and I think it must be a deep one, a deep cut on Owen Bailey. Normally they just Vaseline them up and bandage them, but
and Owen Bailey wouldn't come off for nothing, so...
Also, as well, head injury, you have to make sure that everyone's 100%. It's not like the old days. I think we've learned a lot more about head injuries and the repercussions that can happen from even the slightest of knocks. So, safety first, and let's hope Owen Bailey's all right. But we're going to get back to the action now. We've got a drop ball. As it's gonna, there's drop ball. Casey pings the ball up, and Hassani wins the header, puts it back up. Casey and Campbell battling away. Casey quickly takes the throw, launches it down the line, nodded in by Armand. He tried to put it in central there, but Dan Jarvis has had to get that, but he's been dispossessed, and now it's Daly brings it across. It's going to fall to Armand. Oh, great save for the legs, but it's been put into the back of the net by Gregor Cox. He was at the right place at the right time. A great save from Langley with the legs, but 22 minutes gone. It's Gateshead 0, Woking 1. Well, that sucked the wind out of the sails here in the Tyne and Wear stand. They're trying to get behind the lads. We've got Anthony Pye listening in from Lancashire. from Bury, Lancashire. Hopefully 3 points today. I wonder if he's any relation to Ethan. Hopefully he is. And I say thank you for joining us. But unfortunately at the moment, Gateshead 1-0 down. Got a feel for the goalkeeper there. Made a great save, but the ball just spun away. And there was Gregor Cox just to slot it into an empty net, more or less.
I know. I mean, you look at the body language now, and look, like you say, knocked the wind out of their sails. But the wind out of the sails was already knocked from Owen Bailey coming off there. Obviously, he's a key player.
Well, as we said before, I thought Dan Jarvis might drop deeper, and he has. Dan Wards went higher up into the position that he was occupying as Dan Ward gets his first touch, holds it up, gets it to Jarvis. Jarvis puts it over the top. The ball's hung up in the air, beaten by Cuthbert. In the air was Gallagher, and it's went for a throw on the halfway line to Gated on the far side of the pitch. Conter receives it, turns, plays it down the line to Jevon Mills, in turn to Dan Langley, who's under pressure. And now he clears the ball up towards the right-hand side, and Owen Bailey gets a great round of applause. He's holding that, I think that must be his eyebrow, and the offside flag goes for Ormond. And you can only surmise that that's a bad cut on the eyebrow, can't you? A bit of deep one, because normally they can get a stitch and come back out. But
Yeah.
free kick to Gateshead for the offside decision. There's Magnay. He's asking for people to switch on here. He wants people to get into position. Gateshead's got a certain way of playing, and they want to try and stick to that. There's Langley now, pings it up. And, you know, that, dare I say, that was autopilot there, because that's the territory that Robbie Tinkler would have been occupying to try and win the header, and there was nobody there. And the throw-in is going to be taken by Casey, who throw finds Campbell, headed on. Cuthbert has to head it back, and Gallagher chasing down the keeper. Nearly got in there, Gateshead. Gateshead now played over the top from Fasani, but Casey heads it clear. Conter brings it down, puts it over the top, looking for the run of Gallagher. Can Gallagher get in front of Cuthbert? He can. He's got arms all over him. There's appeals. Campbell in the edge of the box. He's goes for a shot, curling shot deflection. It's going to be a corner. And, well, he didn't pull him down, but he definitely had a hold of him in the box.
He definitely had a hold of him.
Well, can Gateshead get a quick reply here? 25 minutes gone. There's going to be some added on time at the end of this half for the injury. It's Ethan Pye's dad. Hello there. Thank you for joining us. Still great you're listening in, even though Ethan isn't involved today. As Ollie puts the corner in. It's nodded it. Oh, it's what was that? A pull down the referee? Oh, it's given the other way. Those two players went down in a heap. Moss thought it had pulled down Gallagher there, but judged to have been the other way.
He's got a physical afternoon on Gallagher today.
He certainly has. Well, Ross places the ball down, ready to take this free kick. He's got the son behind him. Just launches the ball up. Moss brings it down, picked up by Ince. Ince puts it over to... Sorry, that's Moss. It was Lofthouse that brought it down. Ince now plays it forward. Moss on the right-hand side crosses the ball in dangerous one. Armand was there, and it's been put back across, goes out for a throw-in, ran along the line. So, well, the ball whipped through. All it needed was a touch. Armand was coming in. He didn't get anywhere near it. And Holgate have been let off there. I'll change the score on the screen there. Sorry, apologies to everybody. Well, the throw taken by Casey. Puts a cross into the box. There's Magnay to scoop it clear and out of play for a throw-in near the dugout of Woking. Well, Casey waiting for him to take this throw. And there we go as Armand manages to get Casey's put across, brought down by Gregor Cox, and a shot off from Rowan Ince. I thought that was going to nestle in the back of the net, but wide it went. Should have hit the target there.
Yeah, his head was in his hands. Rowan Ince, a real aggressive physical presence in the box there. It looked dangerous.
Well, Gregor Cox did well to keep the ball moving in the box there. As Magne plays the ball to Ollie. Ollie to Hassani. Conta plays it out of play for a throw-in. Try to play it down the line. Just got a bit of urgency about them walking here. The closing gates are down. Dan Ward gets it to Daly. Now Jarvis plays over the top for the run of Ward. And Wilkinson comes across and plays it out. And it's a throw on the far side. And now we wait for Daly to take this throw. Bit of movement as Gallagher shows for him. Gallagher's touch let him down. No, Gates had managed to pick up the loose ball. It's Jarvis. The communication just isn't there at the moment. Heads have dropped. Jarvis went to play it to Daly and the ball just rolls out for a throw-in. Just inside the Woking half as now it's played forward. Jevon Mills read that but played it straight to a yellow shirt, and Jevon Mills does well, gets the ball. Sorry, it was Magne, but no, his poor ball across, and now it's onside. It's Armand goes down, it's a penalty. And well, Gateshead played themselves into trouble here, and Padraig Armand come flying through onto the loose ball. Well, it wasn't loose ball, the ball played through after they got it from the loose ball, and Langley was never going to get there. And Gregor Cox is going to be taking the penalty.
Is that all that's happening?
Yeah, there's no yellow card there. As Woking have the chance to extend their lead to 2-0 here. Langley makes himself big in the Gateshead goal mouth. As Gregor Cox steps up. And it's been saved, but the following shot comes. It's in the back of the net. Anderson follows up and places it into the right-hand side of the net. And he goes over to celebrate in front of the Woking fans. And that's the second time Langley's made a save where the loose ball has fell to a yellow shirt. And Gateshead, well, the makers of their own disaster here.
That's a real shame. I mean, Dan Langley will be utterly disappointed there because the effort from both saves and unfortunately Woking are first to react. You would like to think that Gates had learnt a lesson from the first goal when it came to the reactions. Second one, disappointing.
That certainly is. And, well, making it easy for Woking at the moment. Concentration levels definitely need to be raised here.
And you look at where both goals came from. This came from mistakes from our own passing and our own ability to retain the ball in dangerous areas.
Well, we're back underway as Jarvis plays it to Jevon Mills, whose touch wasn't great. Played across and out it goes. And Gateshead just did 6s and 7s. And the frustration of the Tyne and Wear stand can be heard behind us as Gregor Cox nods it on. Daly goes down, tries to get another penalty, appeals from the Woking bench. You'd think the player had been shot the way he went down. Would have been a harsh one to give that. Well, goal kick to Gateshead. Well, Langley with the goal kick. As Cuthbert beats Campbell in the air. Ball bounces through as Jevons just kicked it out, and it's been kept in the far side. Now Moss plays it inside. Lovely turn by Anderson. Down he goes. Oh, well. Anderson turned and tried to get away. Went down a couple of... Well, wait for the free kick. As Anderson's back up onto his feet. Captain Casey going to take this set piece. It's about 45 yards out, right-hand side of the box. And all the big men are up there, all the usual suspects, as we await the delivery. Casey with his arm in the air. Now in comes the ball. It's going to go towards the back post, but bounces out. Cuthbert was hovering about, but way too much on it. And 32 minutes gone. Gateshead 0, Woking 2. It's going to be an uphill battle from here. Gateshead having already lost one of their midfield players, Owen Bailey, through injury. Been cut open. And Gateshead passing it on the back. That's just awful stuff there. Jevon Mills had to scramble to get it clear. And Gateshead really do need to switch on here. This is comical at the moment. As Anderson plays it back to Wilkinson, who puts it over the top and the ball goes out. But they really do need to communicate out
We
there.
have just conceded 2 goals from similar issues of giving the ball away in them areas. What are they doing trying that again? Woking are pressing high. They're pressing aggressively.
Well, not to cause any alarm, Montgomery's warming up. So has Dan Langley got an injury? It's ball over the top. It's going to be brought down by Casey Campbell. Chases down. Casey puts a long ball up, though, for Gregor Cox to try and get onto. Magny wins the header, but it falls to Daly. Daly cuts inside, tries to get Sassani. Dan Jarvis gets his body in front. Now Gator can try and break on the right-hand side. Ball forward for Gallagher to try and get onto, but Cuthbert was there just to intercept. Plays it across to Moss. Moss now gives it to Lofthouse. Lofthouse turns Daly and driving forward. Daly's got back to challenge, but couldn't get the tackle in. Falls over himself. Lofthouse still going, edge of the box. Down goes down, and has he given free kick
Free
here?
kick or penalty?
Free kick right on the edge of the box, and a yellow card for Camille Conter, the youngster on loan from Middlesbrough. There, he was sucked into that one as Lofthouse went down. And 34 minutes, and Gateshead could really do with a half-time whistle at the moment to regroup and refocus.
And that word you've just said there, youngster. I mean, this performance, just looks like a performance from youngsters. There's no experience. We're lacking that leadership, someone to calm people down and just bring some trust with each other.
Definitely. Well, this is about 2 yards outside the box, right-hand side of the D. Casey stands over it, left-footed. You'd really hope that they don't score from this set piece, because that would be you would say that would be good night so far with the performance Gateshead have put in so far. 2-0, there's still a chance of getting something out of this game. 3-0, I'd say it puts it to bed. But we'll see what happens. Casey and Armand stand over it. Armand goes up and over the wall, over the bar. Wasn't too far away.
I mean, it came at pace. If that was on target, I've got no doubt that would have been in.
Well, Montgomery shouting instructions to Dan Langley here. I think they want him to calm down and focus where he's putting the ball as well. As Langley, ball goes up towards the right-hand wing. Hassani goes up, beaten in the air by Cuthbert. Cuthbert's ball goes out for a throw in front of the Woking dugout. As Captain Ollie picks up the ball. He's going to give it to Hassani to take the throw. Hassani looking to find a teammate, gets it to Conter. Hassani plays it forward blindly. Gateshead managed to pick it back. Jarvis in the centre circle, plays it forward, downward. Good first touch, takes him away from the defender. Driving through the box, and Casey does well to get back, and it's a corner.
He's not given a corner.
Casey definitely got the last touch on that.
Yeah, that definitely looked like a corner.
Well, goal kick.
Strange decision.
Well, 36 minutes gone now. At Hazard, we'll probably have about 4 or 5 minutes added on at the end of this half, so we've still got a good 15 minutes left here in the first half, you would say. And Woking won't want the half-time whistle to come, as the ball is nodded into the middle. Ollie plays it over his shoulder. Downward, beaten in the air. Camille Conter chasing Lofthouse. Lofthouse just turns, plays it back down the line to Moss. Moss plays it inside to Anderson, the goal scorer. Anderson back to Moss. Moss now going to play it back to his defensive partner, Wilkinson. Anderson drops deep down the line. Now Armand tries to run onto the ball. Jevons puts it out of play on the far side. Comes off Armand for a throw. And, well, Montgomery's going through quite a vigorous warm-up down there. As all the ball comes into the box, shot off, it's deflected. Picks up the loose ball, Langley, and that was something going off. They got the ball in the box there, Woking. Don't know if Gregor Cox is struggling. He was limping before and he was just bending over there. Don't know if that's just his running style, but he didn't look that fluid. Conter plays the ball forward into space for Hassani. Gets it into the middle there. Ollie now, he needs some support. There was nobody there and Rowan intercepts, and now Casey puts the ball over the top and the ball's going to bounce all over. It's a slow bounce. It's going to bounce through to Langley there. And Gateshead really do need something to spark this game into life for themselves, as Langley pings the ball up, looking for Hassani, nodded out by Casey in front of the Gateshead dugout. Campbell gets it to Conter. Conter looks to keep the ball moving, gives it to Jevon Mills. Jevon Mills plays it back to Langley. Langley now pings the ball up towards Hassani. Hassani loses the aerial battle, but the ball's going to go out for a Gateshead throw. Well, referee wants Hassani to move back and take the throw from there, right on the halfway line. As the ball gets through to Gallagher. Now Jarvis. Jarvis has got the run of Daly on the left-hand side. Jarvis gets round Lofthouse, gives it to Daly. Daly's quickly under pressure though, having to twist and turn. Daly goes down, wins a free kick, 5 yards inside the half. Referee wants it taken exactly from where it happened. Now it's back underway. Conter gives it to Magny. Magny under pressure, has to play it back to Langley. Langley picks out Conter. Conter to Daly. Isn't Daly, Jevon Mills. Daly's got higher up the pitch, but Jevon Mills plays it back. They're closing down the angles, or Woking, making Gateshead play the ball long, as Hassani is going to bring this down. Keeps it in.
Great from Hassani.
Plays the ball down the line straight into Casey's feet, and Casey. Oh, and that was a poor ball now, picked up by Gallagher. Gallagher driving forward towards Cuthbert. He's got Daly behind him. Plays it through for Dan Moore. Can he get a shot off? Oh, the ball just bounced away from his feet, turned. He's still going though. The ball's been popped out, and it's a throw in here next to the corner flag. Quickly taken. Hassani plays it inside to Jarvis. Jarvis dancing around, dispossessed. And now the ball goes long from Woking, looking for the run of Gregor Cox. But Langley comes out to get that one, plays it to Magny. Magny now looks to drive forward with the ball. Plays it inside. Dan Jarvis lays it off to Mills. Mills takes it out to the left-hand side to Daly. Jarvis. Jarvis puts the ball over the top, looking for the run of Ollie. Just too much on it, straight through to the keeper, Ross. We need to see more of that from Gateshead. 40 minutes gone. 5 minutes of normal time remaining, and I'll hazard a guess we'd have about 4 to 5 minutes added on due to the stoppage in the first half. As Daly didn't see where the ball's bouncing, then Gregor Cox gets it to Lofthouse. Lofthouse plays it down the line to Moss. Moss will play it all the way back to Ross in the Woking goal, under pressure from Gallagher. Ball goes out of play for a Woking throw off Daly. Well, just looking around the Tyne and Wear stand, a lot of glum faces. People don't know if they're holding up much hope for something, for a spark to bring this game to life for Gateshead.
I was just thinking exactly that, Dave, when you said spring to life. There's just no life in the team here at all. Woking, even when they're in defensive mode, they've got some life in them. They're pressing aggressively from behind. They're squeezing up together. We just don't have the game under control right now.
Certainly don't, but still another half of football to be played, and a few minutes here as well in the first half.
And we have seen from Gateshead last season they can change momentum.
Well, they're really going to have to. There's a ball over the top there for Gallagher to run onto. Cuthbert gets in front of him though and plays it back to Ross. Ross in turn clears the ball up the pitch as Jevon Mills wins the header. Ollie tries to get it further forward. Hassani wins the header. Campbell nods it back. Gateshead still in possession through Jarvis. Jarvis out to Daly. Now Jarvis plays a ball forward. The ball's been played on for Dan Ward, nodded back to the keeper there. Well, Dan Ward's just started to get into the game a little bit. There's Magnet beaten in the air. Hassani's clearance has went more across, and that's poor from Daly there. He tried to flick it. The ball's been through to Langley there, and that could have went very. That could have went very bad very quickly if that flick had got through to. If it hadn't got through to a Gateshead player.
Flicks and trying to be fancy. You need to sometimes get the game by the scruff of the neck.
Well, they need to do something as the ball goes all the way through to Ross from Langley's kick. And Ross in no hurry here. Now he takes the kick, and Grego Cox is going to chase that down. Conter tries to get in front of him. Grego Cox keeps it in, goes out for a corner. Well, Ian Watson and Mike Williamson in deep conversation there at the edge of the dugout. As we wait for Casey to take the corner. It's taken a while to trot over. And Casey now there. Places it where he wants it. In comes the corner now. It's deep and it's going to be... Oh, and it's headed... Oh, Almond, the last man, got a header back across, but Langley plucked it out the air.
It was fantastic because that was going in the top corner. That good hands.
Langley clears the ball from his hands in the edge of the box. Headed forward by Wilkinson. Conter brings it down. Just nobody showing us. They're out on the wings there. Daly gets over there though, keeps it in. Gives it back to Jarvis. Jarvis now gives it to Conter. Conter gives it to Magnet. Magnet looks for the run of Hassani. Hassani's chasing it down. Casey gets in front of him. And Casey went down before he got there, didn't he? Well, maybe he's hurt himself, Casey. He's lying down. No, he's getting up. Well, a disappointing day at the office, to put it mildly, at the moment. It is going to be 5 minutes of added on time here. We can see the board. We're entering the last 30 seconds of normal time in the first half. And bar a miracle if Gateshead can get a goal back in the next 5 minutes, it's been a really poor first half display, really, you'd have to say.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, Hassani dispossessed from behind, and the ball goes out for a throw to Woking, come off Campbell. There's not enough urgency. Woking are playing like they're 2-0 behind the way they're trying to press and close the ball down. We need to see more from Gateshead here. Definitely need to see more. As Casey takes a long throw down the left-hand side. Nodded in, brought down by Jarvis, lays it off to Ollie, back to Jarvis. Jarvis out to Hassani, plays it to the side. This is good from Gateshead. Campbell, if he looks up, oh, it was Ward. He tried to play it forward. Rowan Ince got the ball. Now it's going to be cleared. And Armand on the halfway line turns only as far as Jevon Mills. Gallagher wins the header, but can't be picked up by a second one. And, well, Cuthbert went in, ducked his head for the ball, and Ollie came in, and connection there, high feet. The ball was there to be won.
I don't think Ollie's foot came too high. He actually changed his mind.
Yeah.
He actually changed his mind about going in for it, and he went in with his body.
I would like to see what the linesman says about that, because he was a lot closer than the referee.
It's one of them. If you've seen it in slow motion, you would actually see the mindset.
Well, there you go. He didn't even get a yellow
Ollie.
card. He just got a talking to. That tells you everything of the overreaction from the player that went down, who was probably the biggest, burliest player on the pitch. Didn't act like it. Oh, well, backfired on him because he's had to leave the pitch. Well, Cuthbert, he's made a miraculous recovery there.
And you go back to what happened just before that. Gateshead had a little spell there, and it's just a tiny mistake, a tiny passing error that gives the ball away, and that's happened a few times this half.
But that, I mean, I was joshing about Cuthbert there, but he's took the sting out of it. He's stopped Gateshead from having any momentum there. Now they've got a free kick, and up it goes towards the edge of the box. The big men are up there, nodded on. Gateshead managed to clear the ball through Campbell. It's put back up towards the edge of the box, nodded on by Daly. Gateshead now can clear the ball. Jevon Mills just launches it up in the air. Anywhere will do. Headed down by Moss. Can Gateshead pick it up midfield? Can. Jarvis plays it out to Dan Ward on the left-hand wing. Back to Jarvis. Jarvis looks to keep the ball moving. If he looks up, Hassani's in space on the right-hand side. Picks him out nicely. Jarvis, Hassani brings it down. Conter, if he looks up. Jarvis has looked up. Guess finds Ollie. There's a ball through there and just picks out the yellow shirt, and now they can clear it. There's a ball played over the top, and it's a foot race between Jevon Mills and Padraig Armand. Put out for a throw here on our left-hand side. And we're probably halfway through that, added on time, maybe a little bit more. And Charlotte, the half-time whistle really kind of comes soon enough for Gateshead. And Casey is... Looks like he's power walking. He's moving, but he's not getting very fast. He's there now to get the ball for this throw. There we go. As Gregor Cox tried to hold it up. Wins the ball back, though. Jarvis beaten. But Gateshead win the ball back through Conter. Conter dispossessed, though. Daly did seem more hungry to get the ball to Woking. The hunting in packs. Yeah. As Ollie puts the ball out for a throw there, as Casey wants cards from the referee. It's not very sportsmanlike from another captain. Well, Casey takes the throw. Well, he doesn't. He's been told to get back. Still wants it to go back. It was there. It was next to the dugout. And now Campbell wins the header. Magnier can clear the ball in turn up the pitch. It's going to fall to Cuthbert. Cuthbert nods it out of play next to the Gateshead dugout. Hassani. If he looks, Jarvis is in space in the middle. Hasn't seen it. Campbell shows. Campbell dispossessed. Ball played up the pitch by Rowan Ince. It's Gateshead throw again. There's not much movement for this throw. We're just... Campbell's the only one that showed there. Gets a throw, little flick there. Can Ollie keep it in? He can it, and out it goes for another throw here. And the body language of the Gateshead players just looks dejected. There's a lot of heavy heads there, isn't there?
They definitely need a team talk, and they need to get together here.
I mean, that's, I'm not going to downplay how well Woking have played, but they're not world beaters. We've seen better sides come to Gateshead International Stadium, but what they have done is they've outmuscled us and outworked us. And Gateshead's game over the last few years has been about work rate. But the ball over the top for Lofthouse comes through. Oh, and he's got past, and he's put it wide. As Langley, I think, might have got caught in the head there. He come diving out to head it, missed it, and Lofthouse has put it wide. And Langley is down with a head injury here, and Gateshead just seemed to be cursed. He seems to be all right, I think, but...
That was extremely brave of Langley there. He needed to come out because it was 1v1. Just a lapse of concentration for that ball to go over the top of the defence there.
You were just waiting for that ball to nestle in the back of the net there. Let's hope he isn't cut open or caught too badly. I think he'll be able to continue, but Montgomery's warming up. And, well...
And I don't think Dan Langley's put much of a foot wrong this half. The goals weren't necessarily his fault.
He's made two fine saves. Unfortunately, the ball has skipped away and found its way to a yellow shirt. he's even saved a penalty. It's not a bad afternoon, when you're doing that, but just it's the unfortunate side where the ball has fell after he's made those saves. And, well, surely that's got to be the end of the added on time here, as Langley is going to take this goal kick. The referee looks at his watch. Still time to be played as the ball goes up. Headed on, that's the half-time whistle, and it brings the end to a dour half for the Heed Army, as two fine saves from Dan Langley seen the ball just spin away to a yellow shirt in space that had an empty net to slot it into. And, in the build-up to those things, the penalty, the opening goal, it's been poor passing and communication from the Gateshead defence.
Yeah, and I mean, you look at Gateshead's style, and we continue hearing this thing about them having an identity. And I mean, Woking are a strong physical side, the experienced team. They've stopped Gateshead playing their style. It's a question of sometimes, do you need to adapt?
Yeah.
I think so. Because there's one little error, that one pass that doesn't quite work. That's happening far too many times.
Well, we'll see what happens in the second half. We're just going to play a highlight from the Heed Army podcast. This is what it's like. We talked to away fans. We spoke to Benjamin last week from Woking fan. He's on the far side of today, I believe. He'll be enjoying himself. But this is when we spoke to a fan a few weeks ago on the Heed Army podcast. So if you'd like to join us on Thursday, or well, possibly Monday night this week, this is what it's like.
Yes, always give the podcast one more share. We're joined by our guest, Paul. How are you doing, Paul?
Evening, chaps. You all right?
Yeah, fantastic. Can you hear us all right?
Yeah, all good. Yeah.
Oh, good. You always fear when we have a guest come on. Sometimes the link isn't the greatest, but
it's nice to see a fella Baldy come. Look at that. Get in. You're like, you got more hair on your chin than on your head.
They say I should turn my head upside down.
Yeah. I've been told that a few times, to be fair, Paul.
You've been told to have your head a shake, Mickey. Paul, obviously we've got the game coming up on Saturday. How's the season started for yourselves?
Unbelievably well, as you sort of alluded to just a few moments ago. Way beyond the expectation, I think, of any Wealdstone fan, especially after seeing pre-season. It was slightly underwhelming. There was, you always get the try list, and we're never sure who the management team are going to sign on. We lost the 2 or 3 more influential players from last season, where we finished 16th. So unbelievable. 3 wins out of 4. The 3 wins that we have actually got are probably against the 3 stronger teams on paper, having lost to Eastleigh. So listen, we're not silly. We're only a sort of 1 defeat away from possibly a bad run, that sort of thing. But we'll take it. 3 out of 4 and sort of second in the league at this time is unbelievable.
It's not a bad way to start.
You haven't got your championship button up already.
No. Listen, we're very realistic. We punch above our weight. We have done for this is our 3rd season now in the National League, and we survived the first 2. Did very well last season. No, it's 9 points towards safety. I think more than 9 points towards getting in the playoffs in League 2.
Yeah, I think we're probably the same. Just want to get as many points on the board as possible.
Yeah,
without a doubt. I think when you look at Wealdstone and what may hinder them going forward is the strength and depth in the squad. So if we can pick up as many points as we can whilst we're playing well, and the team are obviously doing very well, you hope you might pick up a few loan deals off the back of that, and let other players want to come and join if we're looking to sign others. So I think strength in depth is going to be probably something that will go against us. So by getting these points on the board is really going to help sort of getting into those stickier, colder, more difficult months, in and around and after Christmas.
definitely. It's always the thing, isn't it? You don't want to get into a bad run of form when it's bad weather and travelling and horrible dark nights. It's never the greatest. But are Wellstone full time, or are you one of the few part time outfits?
No, we have one full-time employee at the football club who is a chap that runs the club on a day-to-day basis on the non-footballing side.
Yeah.
The whole footballing operation is part-time. Our manager, Stuart Maynard, is actually a BT engineer, and he doesn't work on a Tuesday because he commits his time to Wealdstone on a Tuesday, and they train on traditionally as they used to in non-league on a Tuesday and Thursday. I think the strength and conditioning coach Rachel, she looks after them on a Monday sort of via a Zoom meeting and that sort of thing. So I mean, listen, they're doing extremely well. Gone are the days where you are, as Oldham fans suggested, they're plasterers and plumbers and farmers, but
I think everyone knows about nutrition and fitness now.
Yeah.
It's in general day-to-day life, let alone athletes, and most of these players have been at bigger clubs, haven't they, or been involved at some point, so they look after themselves.
And these lads are footballers. They just happen. I think the biggest thing that we don't get as a football team, as a squad, I guess, is the contact time with the management. Not doing 4 or 5 hours a day on the training field. They're doing 4 or 5 hours a week. But they're all. I think we've probably got 2 or 3 that maybe have other jobs, but I think mainly football is their main focus. So we're lucky in that sense. And I guess us and maybe Dorking. I know you mentioned Dorking moments ago, and Maidenhead could be either they try and cherry pick the best part-time footballers that the country can offer, and we certainly got some in Jack Cook and Max Kretschmar come in and done extremely well.
Yeah, it's always a challenge. I mean, obviously we're still full time, which I didn't expect when we got demoted, but not by our own doing, of course. But it's one of them leagues where you do notice it is harder to compete against the full-time sides, isn't it?
Oh yeah, without that. And the thing was, when we came into it 3 seasons ago, we didn't have the setup we even have now, and it's those small steps to non-national league safety and national league status. 3 seasons ago, I mean, we were recruiting lads from the Ryman's Premier Division, some National League South teams. Now we're able to recruit National League standard players, those lads that have experience of the league, and I think that's where the biggest difference has come in the last 3 years is the recruitment, because we've stayed in the league, because we play the type of football and brand of football we do. Everything has helped come, be better.
Mm-hmm. Well, just on that, we've got a question. Paul, what are the Wellstone tactics for coming to the game? I don't know if you want to skip all that away, but do you hold the midfield, or do you press up front straight away? What kind of football do Wellstone play?
No, Wealdstone very much play a possession-based game. They play out of the back. They get caught a few times. Teams that do press, Eastleigh, I think, very much were one that put the press on, whereas these bigger sort of ex-league teams and the bigger teams tend to sort of sit off, and we can play through the lines that little bit. But we certainly do play very, very good possession-based football. We try and get on the front foot, try and load on the wings and out wide, and sometimes outgun teams. We're not particularly big, we're not particularly aggressive. And there's a lot of people sort of say the National League you need 6 foot giant. You wait till you play Woking. They're about I think the average height is about 6'2", right? So we haven't got that. We got a few bigger lads, but we're quick, small, young, and have a desire to want to sort of get forward and play attacking football.
Well, I think it sounds exactly like with the conversation we had last week. Very similar to what the way Gateshead play, yeah. So
I think it's probably very much the same. Very much the same. I think that's how we won the National League South a few years ago. That's how Dorking have gone up. So we've got our management team in Stewie and Matt. They've stuck to their principles over the last 1.5-2 years they've been in charge. I don't think they'll ever change. The benefit of that is it's almost like a little bit like academy football. So we've had good experience with loaning academy lads and who've come in, and it's done them the world of good. A few of them are playing in the EFL Cup tonight who were with us last year. because we play a good brand of football, and these non sort of lower league EFL teams want their youngsters to come and play with us. So you should see an attractive game with Wealdstone. It can sometimes be frustrating and boring because they keep the ball that little bit too much if the fans are being honest at times, but it works. On the whole, it works, and clearly 9 out of 12 points, it's showing that it's working.
Certainly is. Well, there you go. That was what the Heed On Me podcast is like. Please join us this week. It'll either be Monday or Thursday. We'll keep an eye out on social media, and that's why you should follow us on social media at Heed_Army on Twitter and Heed On Me Podcast Live if you search for us on Facebook. We're on Instagram as well as Heed Podcast. And please do follow us on all of them, and you'll know when we are going to go live next. And as well as that, subscribe and like this stream as well. That would be absolutely fantastic. Well, Charlotte, we've been waiting for the teams to come back out and wondering how things will change. We've got 3 strikers down there at the moment, and it's hard to say how a striker's going to change this game at the moment because it's the defensive errors we need to wipe out.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I think it's really missing that leadership quality, the likes of what Louis Story can bring to install a little bit of trust in the team. As a midfielder, how do you feel like if you're going forward, you want to know behind you, you've got every bit of trust in your defence. We need to see that togetherness.
Oh, we certainly do. And as I say, there's a couple of subs warming up in the minute. It is going to be a late kick-off to the second half. They should be out momentarily. There was a delay in the first half to the injury to Owen Bailey, who was cut open, the head injury. We hope it's not too bad and be back playing very soon. But more importantly, let's hope he's on the mend as well. So, yeah, it's going to be an interesting second half. We need to see a different Gateshead come out. They need to come out fighting, and they need to come out and be switched on. So hopefully we will see that. You can send us your messages. A lot of people have. We know we've got people listening and tuning in. Please do let us know where you're listening from in the world. If you're a Woking fan as well, please do message us. Your team is playing the better here this afternoon. We'd love to hear from you. So do send in them messages. Well, let's say, Charlotte, you've got a game tomorrow, haven't you?
I have. It's the FA Cup.
FA Cup, Ladies FA Cup, of course, and Newcastle United. Who have they got, and where is it at tomorrow?
We have Gateshead Rutherford at Kingston Park.
So if you fancy getting along, what time's kick-off for that one?
It's 2 o'clock kick-off.
2 o'clock.
And we do get very good crowds. It's a great atmosphere, a very, very family feel.
Oh, well.
Nice environment.
So if you fancy a game of football tomorrow as well, I think GFC Ladies are playing as well. So have a look on their social media and have a look and see if you fancy taking in a game tomorrow. So, yeah, hopefully the weather's like this for the game tomorrow, Charlotte. Would you enjoy that?
I don't mind.
You don't
There's
mind?
benefits to playing in all weathers.
Certainly. As long as your tan doesn't run.
I don't wear tan. It's a natural tan.
I don't believe you. Anyway, where are you going to get a natural tan in Gateshead? I know it's sunny today, but come on.
It's just my lovely skin tone.
Well, while we argue about that, we're waiting for the teams to come out here. Paul Blackett, Aaron Martin, and Nadi Youssef, 3 strikers warming up out there. Will we see the introduction of one of them in the second half? Who knows? But we just need to see how Gateshead can react in the second half. We do have a set of ball girls here today as well around the running track. Believe they're from Reckitt and Newcastle. They look like they're probably the under 10 or under 12 side. And they're doing a fantastic job here today. We'll get that confirmed later on.
That's been found this season card 22-23.
And there has been a season ticket lost in the ground. It's to be collected. It's a student one. So if you know anyone that's a student that's at the game, text them, say check where your card is.
See if they've lost their season ticket card and your name is Rory. You come to room 7, just ask the steward where that is. Verify your surname.
And while we're on again, Gateshead FC Foundation do have a spectacular party on Thursday night. It's free. Get your children along to that. Bencham Grove in Bencham, of course, just off Bencham Bank. Get along to that, and you'll have a little search on Gateshead FC Foundation, all their social media. Information on that. I believe Asda, Gateshead, the Metro Centre donated some food for the party, hot dogs and crisps, and the likes. So it should be a fantastic evening. Get yourself down.
What are you dressing up as, Dave?
I'm not actually going. The children on the wife. You're going to know.
What are you dressing up as, Dave?
Nothing. What are you going to dress up as a mouse? Hello, Charlotte's found the effects button, and she really likes the effects button. I've been hiding it from her for a while because I don't want to,
You know, I've been staring at that button at moments of that game, thinking this would be the perfect opportunity to bring that effect out.
Well, I'll see. We're having a little effect in our ears at the moment. Some children walk past, have knocked the lead. But I know you've got that voice. I've got this voice with the effect.
Hello, baby.
That was the effect that I thought would have been appropriate.
That would have been the one. But unfortunately, we're not doing that for commentary. We might have to if the game gets so bad later on. But we'll see. But Gateshead are coming back out, led by Greg Ollie. And Woking are already out. They're taking on a little bit of water there at the dugout. And well. Screen. Hello there, everybody. Apologies about that. We had a technical difficulty. It is 3-0 to Woking. Wilkinson did fire a shot into the back of the net after a mix-up in defence from a corner. And now Gateshead are trying to get onto the attack as Cuthbert sees the ball back to Ross, who comes out and clears the ball into the east stand. But Charlotte, it's been an absolute calamity this game so far, hasn't it?
Yeah, immediately as soon as we kicked off, Woking come out on the front foot.
And Gateshead have a shot over the bar. Well, it's not looking good at the minute. Sorry, everybody. I'm just trying to get things back to the way it was. We had the phone died, that broadcast, so internet signal. We are back, and apologies about that. If you could retweet and tell everyone that we're back on. But it is 3-0 to Woking at the moment, and Gateshead have started the second half like they finished the first. 51 minutes gone here at Gateshead International Stadium. And we can only apologise for the technical hiccup there. As now Jevon Mills, and he's going to pull the player down. He's pulled down the substitute, Reece Brown, who came on at half time to replace Gregor Cox, who I did think was moving a bit gingerly in the first half. I'll say, well, yellow card for Jevon Mills here. And frustration starting to show on Gateshead players here, and you just worry if they keep carrying on like this, there might be a red. Well, we are back. Well, as the corner comes, the free kick comes in, it's deep, headed clear though by Hassani. It's nodded back into the area, and out it goes for a goal kick. Well, apologies, we lost the camera, but at least we've still got the stream. One of those technical things. We've lost about 10 people listening there. But we are back as now goal kick from Gateshead up towards Dan Ward. The goal scorer Wilkinson nods the ball forward. Magnier wins the follow-up header. Picked up midfield though by Woking. This went a little bit scrappy as Magnier clears the ball up towards Gallagher. Gallagher wins the header, but goes all the way through to Ross. And now Woking look to get the ball moving forward again as Daly is fouled by Magnier, and just Gateshead just looks sluggish. They look second best to everything at the moment, and they're really going to have to be careful because the Woking players, they're going down, they're getting past them.
They're really getting caught up on their own frustrations here when they're going in for tackles, with their body language, when they're preparing to get back in for set pieces. We really need somebody to just uplift everyone.
Oh, here comes another free kick from the left-hand touchline. All the big men are up there again. Woking put the ball in, goes up towards Wilkinson, nods it down, can get a break here as the ball's played forward by Campbell. It finds Jarvis in space. Jarvis chests the ball down. He's got the overlap here of Daly. Does he use it? He does. Daly down towards, well, siving tackle there from Wilkinson. Puts it out for a corner. Now, corner now to Gateshead. Greg Ollie is going to take this one. And in comes the corner now towards near post, put back out for another corner. Well, we need Gateshead to really just grab the game by the scruff of the neck into the 55th minute. Ollie now whips it in. Headed clear though by Woking, out for a throw. We still need someone to show properly here for Gateshead for this throw. Daly takes the ball from Ollie, gets to Jarvis, back to Daly. Jarvis plays it off. Oh, well, Reese Brown has took it as well. They're going to be described as the family jewels. He went over straight away when the ball was blasted off him. Yeah, that's going to sting. And he's still down at the moment. He's counting them. I think they're both still there. Yeah, he's. It was about 3 foot away, wasn't it? Full blast, and his teammates, the one that's standing over, I think it's.
Surely it can't be that painful, Dave.
Oh yes, yeah. Oh, he's. You know what is? He might have to come
I
off. Yeah,
can't.
he's lying on his side, really
He's
heavy,
in agony, isn't
really
he?
heavy
He's
breathing.
in absolute agony there.
I feel for this physio if he's got to
And
rub
I
them
mean-
better. Well, this has been the best bit of entertainment for Gateshead fans so far in this game. He's up. He's up. He's all right. He's
Is
still,
he?
yeah, he's still bending over,
Is he?
gasping for air there as Jarvis Conter cuts inside, plays it across to Magny on the halfway line. It's in the centre circle. Tries to ping a ball forward for the run of somebody, and there's nobody there. It's Craig Ross keeps it in. Well, all joking aside, as you know, it's a bad afternoon when that's the highlight for Gateshead at the moment, as the ball's nodded out by Daly on the far side for a throw. Once again, apologies for the technical difficulties before. We lost sound as the ball played forward all the way through to Craig Ross. And also get well soon to Bernard McWilliams. I have got your messages there, Bernard. Sorry I didn't see them. Camera's off. Anyway, we did have a tiny bit of the pitch on that we didn't realise. But Ollie now drives forward with the ball, plays the ball forward to Gallagher. Gallagher, Wilkinson does enough just to put him off, and the ball rolls through to there. But Bernard had a new knee fitted, and we hope he's going to be back fighting fit very soon here at Gateshead International Stadium. Big miss on a match day. As Ross pumps the ball up. As Daly tussling with Lofthouse. It's really made it been a handful today, has the right winger. Gateshead now. Ward plays it back to Langley. Out to Hassani in the right back position. Pure pressure from Woking, but Gateshead can try and break here. Nice ball from Ollie out to Daly on the left-hand side. Halfway inside the Woking half, getting towards the edge of the box and goes down for a free kick here. About 25 yards out. Left-hand side of the box. Opportunity for Ollie to swing one in here. As we've got some kids blocking our view in front of here.
Shift! Shift!
Well, the child has moved now. No child was harmed in that moving of a minor, but Ollie stands over this. I thought he might have went for a shot here. Lofts it over to the incoming running players, and it goes out for a goal kick there.
And that was a shame because it was a well-placed ball and a perfect.
Well,
big
their
area.
manager or one of their coaches isn't happy about how easy that ball got through there. The defence didn't really track it. 59 minutes gone. Gateshead 0, Woking 3. Well, ball played down the line to Daly. Turns his man, still runs with it, goes across the halfway line. He's still going, plays it through for Armand. Conter just managed to intercept that, and now Hassani plays a crossfield ball, but there's nobody there, and it looks like we're going to see another substitution from Woking. But Lofthouse is battling with Daly. Daly got a footwork, but Lofthouse still going, puts a cross into the box. Shot off there. Armand should have really done better. Puts it past the post. He should have. Yeah, he should have really put that on target there, shouldn't he? Well, we're going to see the introduction of Jim Kellerman. And he is replacing, who can we see? He's replacing Rowan Ince.
Be interesting to see how this changes the dynamic of the game. because Rowan Ince is a really strong presence and he brings a lot of calmness to the Woking team.
Looks like Gateshead are going to make a change as well. I think Paul Blackett is stripped. He's stripped and ready to come on. And I would hazard a guess it might be Gallagher that makes way here as Armand nods the ball forward and Conter got in the way of the pass there. Brown, right-hand side of the box, twist and turn. Armand's in front of him. Plays it inside. Gateshead managed to clear the ball though. Jarvis. Under pressure from the substitute. Wins a free kick for his troubles there. That's better from Gateshead. Just holding the ban off. Conter gives it to Jarvis. Out to Daly. Daly plays it inside to Mills. Mills plays a ball forward looking for Ward. Ward does well, but the ball falls to a yellow shirt. It's just been the story of Gateshead's afternoon so far as Casey was battling on the far side. The balls went out for a Gateshead throw. Dan Ward gets the ball back and Anderson just gets that ball out and out it goes again for a throw to Woking this time on the far side. Are we going to get the substitution here? We are, and Paul Blackett and well, the fourth official hasn't put the numbers up. He's just put a blank board up there. But it does look as if Dan Jarvis is making way here. So I would hazard a guess that maybe Gallagher will drop a little bit deeper and we'll see. Yeah, you can see there Gallagher just coming across to this side. And Blackett will be the man through the middle. He's got nearly 30 minutes to make an impact here, Paul Blackett.
And he'll be eager to add to his goal tally. Got off to an exceptional start at the start of the season.
Leaving the pitch, number 4, Dan Jarvis.
Well, ball over the top for Brown to try and chase onto. He's got there at the corner flag. Back heels it. It falls to Armand. The ball's going to be put in there. Lofthouse is coming in. And the ball was put out by Jevon Mills. It had to be because Lofthouse was coming in behind. And, well, yeah, I thought it was a bit of an audacious little flick back there to keep it in, and it worked. But Woking hungry for more goals here. Wow. The captain Casey has got his arm up in the air, ready to take this one. Whips it in. It's been cleared. It's still in the box, so it hasn't been cleared fully. As Woking have it at their feet, they're trying to get a shot off. Lay it back out to Casey, who puts a good delivery in. Magny heads it up in the way, but it's still inside the box when it drops. And now it's Wilkinson puts the ball across there. It's a deep one. Ball comes back across. Cuthbert was there, couldn't get it on target, and behind it goes. And Gateshead, well, it's just having to take wave after wave here. Well, the ball through, doesn't find a Gateshead player and goes all the way through to Ross. And he's in no rush here. And his kick goes all the way up. Ollie tries to bring it down. He does. Second attempt, gets it through to Dan Ward for Sarni. Sarni plays a ball to Blackett. Blackett puts a ball over the top for Campbell to chase on the right-hand side of the box. Can he keep it in? He can it. Just rolls away and out it goes for a goal kick. But that's better. That's better. Well, Adi Yusuf makes his way back to the bench, as does Aaron Martin. Do we have another substitution coming? No, they're both sitting down.
Your season card has been found. It is in room 7. Come to room 7. Verify your surname. Have your season card back.
Well, still putting out the name for someone to find their season ticket there as Daly under pressure. Nice footwork, but only finds Moss. Now gets a pick up midfield. Poor from Gallagher. Finds it straight to Killerman. Killerman puts the ball out to Brown. Armand's there. Now Armand plays it off Jevon Mills, and it's a corner to Woking. 25 minutes remain here at Gateshead International Stadium. If you're just joining us, you'll see on the screen Gateshead 0, Woking 3. The Captain Casey, much like Gateshead's captain, very much involved in every set piece. He takes 4 or 5 steps back. A lot of movement in the box. Here comes the delivery. It's deep. Headed back across, and Ollie stubs it clear towards the far side, and Cuthbert's there to bring it down under pressure from Conti. It's Conte right at the corner flag now. Campbell can clear it all the way up towards Blackett. Blackett, and it bounces out before he can get there. A throw into Woking. Well, there's enough time to do something in this game, Charlotte. Just, are they capable?
I don't think it's the case of are they capable. We know they're capable. We've seen them pull results out of games. It's the matter of body language. It's a matter of how frustrated they are. When you play frustrated like that, everyone knows things don't go
and
your
we've got
way.
another injury. Daly's pulled up with a hamstring there. He's trying to move. He's running now. Looks like he's running free. He did pull up. He was grabbing his hamstring, but Lofthouse, right-hand side of the box. He's going to cross this one in. And there was Anderson coming in.
He's went down now.
And that is not looking good for Daly. He's going to have a little stretch there. He's took a knee down, and I think that might be all we see from Daly this afternoon. Yeah, he pulled up straight away, didn't he?
Now, I mean, I was going to touch on his work ethic in this second half. He's been up and down this flank near the stand.
There isn't any more defensive options on the bench. You will see Gallagher could move back to left back. It was cramped, so they're stretching him out there. So it looks more like cramp than hamstring, hopefully. But didn't look too good, did it? The initial pull-up. Well, he's back up. He's moving quite sprightly there. Just like to give us a heart attack, and he's back on the pitch. There's now Casey lays the ball off to Anderson. Ball cleared up the pitch by Cuthbert. Headed back by Mills. Brown lays the ball off. There's Moss, plays it inside to Killerman. Passing around with ease at the moment are Woking. Gateshead chasing shadows, trying to get close. There's Moss has the ball, plays it back to Wilkinson. Up towards Anderson. Anderson plays inside to Killerman. Now Armand plays it inside, and there was Conte to pick up the ball. And can Gateshead break now as Campbell turns. He hasn't got many people to aim at. Good feet to get it to Ollie. Ollie looks for the crossfield ball, looking for the run of Dan Ward. And if he's going to get there, he's going to keep it in just, and the ball goes out. It's a goal kick. And, well, unfortunately for Dan Ward, just a little bit too much on it. And we are going to see the introduction of Jake Wilkins coming on here as well for Woking. And he's going to be replacing Daly, who's give us nightmares down that left-hand side this afternoon. While we wait for that substitution, we do have a message. Well, yeah, Alan Guest did put the sounds on. Yeah, we're back now though, and Mickey, he's love my team, but this is absolutely pathetic. It's been a tough afternoon. And we're back underway. Goal kick taken by Ross. Gallagher, free header, gets it forward towards Blackett, but Wilkinson's there, nods it out, throw into Gateshead in front of the Woking dugout. Well, Mills plays it to Conte. Conte back to Mills. Great pressure from Woking, just closing everything down, making life hard. Ball over the top as Gallagher, never going to get into that as it bounces out to play for a goal kick.
And they've done that the whole game.
Yeah. I mean, we did mention at the top of the game, you could say that Gateshead's 3 of the 4 first choice defenders are out. But, you know, you've still got to be able to rely on the players that are in reserve in waiting. That's why you sign them, because you believe they're good enough. And some players just need to stay more switched on. We've been guilty of creating our own downfall at times. And now Gallagher receives the ball. He's got Daly on the overlap. Plays it inside to Ollie. Ollie gets past two men, keeps going with the ball, plays it inside. Oh, Cuthbert had to intercept that in front of Blackett, but the ball's going to fall to Campbell. Campbell nods it forward. Nice little flick from Ward, didn't get through. Wally felt he was blocked and cleared by Woking now. And we're going to see the introduction of Aaron Martin as well coming on for Gateshead. This is a sight everyone's been waiting to see since early on in the season. He looked very dangerous in his debut and subsequent games. And we're having trouble with our earphones here. Everything's going wrong. There we go. Aaron Martin on the pitch. Well, technical difficulties in a poor game. What more?
Technical difficulties all over the place today.
Wow.
But I mean, I don't know about you, Dave, but I remember seeing Aaron Martin in the beginning of the season, and he was a real exciting talent. And even something like that, seeing him come back and feature today, can it uplift people? Because we know he's excellent.
It certainly is. Well, Gallagher's dropped back to left back position now, and the ball's played forward up to Martin. Oh, it's going to fall to Campbell though. 3-on-3. There's Aaron Martin. He's got the ball. He's twisting and turning in the box. Still going edge of the box. Can he get a shot off? He can, but it's into two players. And that's what we need to see. We haven't seen any of that. That's exciting. Let's see if we can build on it now. But Woking drive forward with the ball through Brown, but he's not many Woking players have got forward with him now. Lofthouse drives with the ball. Still going, Jevon Mills. Oh, and held off and held off. Good defending. Dan Ward breaks. Gives it to Ollie, left-hand side of the pitch. He's got Aaron Martin just in front of him. He's got Ward on the inside, but the angles have been closed down. Has to play it back to Conter. Gallagher. Plays it back to Conter again, just inside the gates at half. Plays it across the defence to Magny. Magny's touch just takes him away. Gives it to Mills.
Working was number 8, James Daly.
All across to Hassani.
Number 29.
A lot of the pitch covered by the shadow of the China stand now. As Hassani plays it back to Magny. Langley on the edge of his box. Dinks a ball to Gallagher, who controls it. Plays it inside to Ollie. Ollie, nice footwork again. Plays a ball over the top, looking for the run of Ward, but Cuthbert cleared it, and Gallagher still going, gets past Moss. Moss has let him get through. He's on the edge of the box. He needs to pick out a teammate. Gives it back to Ollie. Ollie's going to give it back to Martin. Martin, edge of the box. Lays it off. Hassani takes a touch, carries it inside. Martin dinks it out to Campbell on the right-hand side. Now Ward, back to Campbell. Hassani, all on the edge of the box this. As Hassani goes for a shot, hits it off the back of Wilkinson, who, I don't know, he's got holding his face there, but it seemed to hit him in the back. Gallagher gives it back to Conter. This is the best possession we've seen from Gateshead so far. Ball played forward. Ward out to Campbell on the right-hand side. Now he puts one into the box. Cuthbert nods it up in the air, but it goes as far as the edge where Lofthouse can there just to clear it away. And at the moment, Gateshead win the second ball. Conter gets it to Gallagher. Gallagher has Martin on the inside, but the yellow shirts of Woking closed down any angle there, and it's been passed back to Mills. It took 70 minutes to see Gateshead start to play their brand of football as Gallagher now crosses the ball in, takes a deflection, Ross into his hands.
Took the words out my mouth.
Yeah.
We've come back to life. And what has it taken? A substitute.
It certainly has. Well, you would hope in coming games that Blackett and Martin are fit to start, because they've added something up front to aim for.
Yeah, I think Aaron Martin especially, seeing him come back from injury, it's just excited everyone, and even the current players on the pitch. It's like when you get a new pair of shoes and you're wearing them with an old outfit. You're making them everything feel new again.
Rejuvenating.
Absolutely.
Well, Conter receives the ball, turns, runs into space, still inside his own half, now towards the centre circle. The Hassani shows for him on the right-hand side. This is better from Gateshead. Plays it back inside to Conter. Conter turns. Looks to get the ball moving to Aaron Martin. The ball goes to the top. Martin brings it down. Chest it just took away. And that is going to be a throw into Gateshead here on the left-hand side. He wants the ball quick.
Yeah, he's asking him to speed it up.
Campbell. He's going to put this ball. He's going to go for a shot. We've seen him score from this angle. Goes. Oh, it's the post. Oh, Martin picks up the loose ball towards the corner flag. It's still in play. Now Hassani. Keeper was well beaten there. There's now Martin on the edge of the box. Falls to Campbell. Tries to thread it through to Martin. Falls to Martin again. Oh, and just Woking managed to scramble it clear only as far as Mills. Gateshead on the attack again. Played it inside to Conter. 2 banks of 4 for Gateshead to break down, but the ball out to the right-hand side is Ward. Controls it, brings it down, tries to get past the captain Casey, and now it's going to be cleared by the substitute Vokins out of play on the far side of a throw. And pardon me, sorry, 15 minutes remain. If Gateshead can get a goal back here, it'll be an interesting end to the game. They've won a corner though on the far side. Really took the pressure off the defence, having target men to hold it up.
Yeah. It's all of a sudden we've now got standards. We've got abilities to pass properly.
Played short to Campbell. Campbell lays it off to Hassani. Can he get a delivery into the box? He can. It goes in. It's been nodded up in the air. There was Maron Martin to chase down Lofthouse. Lofthouse comes away with the ball, but Martin not letting him go. Judged to have brought him down. And Lofthouse is holding his head at the moment.
And as a fan, you don't mind that. You're seeing your players fight for your team.
He's added that bite that's been missing up front for a few games. And Lofthouse taking his time to get up. And he's in no hurry to get up, burning down the clock, but the referee stopped his watch.
You're just sensing a little bit of frustration now with the Woking team. It's a challenge now. Can they show their experience, manage this game, see it out? Or are they going to crumble under the pressure that Gateshead's piling on now?
Well, let's see, 13 minutes remain, 13 and a half minutes. Ball played down the line to Lofthouse. And ball goes out of play, throw in, or free kick has been given. Lofthouse on the end of it again. And this is an opportunity for Casey to put the ball in the box here. And I don't, well, they've took it quickly, and now Brown going to get a shot off, close tight angle, past the post, pulled it wide. I think Langley must have got a touch on it because it's a corner.
Yeah, I think he's got his hand to that.
Well, they are still committing men forward. Woking, and why not? They're still 3-0 up. Let's not forget, even though Gateshead have had a good 5-minute spell. Well, in comes the delivery now. Headed clear, though, by Magnay. It's going to fall to Anderson, who puts it back out to the far side. It's going to... lovely turn there from Vokins. Gets it to Anderson. Vokins back to Anderson. Nice 1-2 touch football. Cross into the box. Cuthbert comes across. He put it back across. It's going to fall to Vokins. Tries to get a shot off. Comes off Hassani for another corner. And, well, we might look good going forward. We look shaky at the back still.
Absolutely. You sort of have that fear every time Woking have the ball in the box. There is going to be a goal.
Well, we await this delivery. In it comes towards the penalty spot. Headed on and headed off the line there by Morton, more or less. Headed back into the danger zone. Campbell's the one to nod it clear. Ward chases the loose ball down. Can he get past his man? No. Now, Woking on the attack. Left-hand side of the box, goes for a shot. It's straight into Langley's hands. Second attempt, he had to get to it. Throws the ball for Martin to chase onto. Lovely throw, just bounced away from him. But Gallagher can bring it down, gets it to Ollie. Ollie gets past his man on the halfway lane, left-hand side of the pitch. Drives forward with the ball, cuts into the middle. Plays it through the centre, downwards on side. Can he finish it? He can! What a finish that was!
What a goal by Greg Ollie.
Oh, lovely movement. Timed his run to perfection. The ball through from Ollie was fantastic. But is it too little, too late?
Dan Ward's made them runs perfectly all afternoon. He just needed that perfectly weighted pass for it to work and calmly finished. What an excellent goal.
Well, you would hazard a guess there's going to be at least 13 minutes remaining here at Gateshead International Stadium. Gateshead have got one back. Can they get another one? We'll just edit the
We've seen
scoreline.
them do it last year. Can they do it this year against better opponents?
Well, they have looked better in the last 10 minutes since the substitutions have been made. But they're defending
Now
at the moment
Wogan
as Brown has the
in the
ball in the
box.
box. Going to get a shot off, always rising. And that's behind for a goal kick. Gateshead wanting to get this ball moving quickly. They sense they're starting to find joy in the final third. Where it was a lovely finish from Langley underneath the from Ward underneath the goalkeeper. What a difference a goal can make as the ball played off a player there, but it's been kept in by Lofthouse. Ollie puts the ball forward. Oh, ball nodded on to Martin. Can he finish it? He gets past the keeper. Oh, he's got past, but ball clawed out for a corner. Just thought he was going to be brought down there. The ball stuck behind him. Just had to check himself, but lovely nod on from Paul Blackett. So Gateshead fans behind us erupt into song. Greg Ollie stands over this corner, puts it in. It's a decent delivery into the middle. It's not clear. Can the second ball be picked up? It's been scrambled clear by Woking. Hassani has to have a second bite to control this one inside the centre circle. Puts it out to Gallagher. Gallagher looks up, sees Ollie on the left-hand side, plays it back to Mills. Mills is going to play it across to Hassani. Now Hassani drives, gives it to Ward, the goal scorer on the right-hand side. Back to Hassani. Hassani carries the ball forward. Gets past one man. Can he get past another? He can. Was he fouled? Blackett holds the ball up. Dispossessed, and now Woking try and drive forward as now Aaron Martin gets back with defensive duties. Fantastic teamwork.
And I don't know where Aaron Martin came from there, but the ground that he's covering is absolutely fantastic.
Ball forward by Campbell, just intercepted there. And now Lofthouse tries to play it across. He does. He finds Vokins. Vokins drives forward with the ball. Ward comes back to help defensive duties as well. Ball out to the far side. Casey is going to play it down the line. Vokins on the underlap. He's going to cross this ball in at the dead ball line, pulls it back, headed clear by Magnay. Ward tries to get it clearance, but comes straight back off Casey. And now nodded back to Langley. And Gateshead need to get this ball up the pitch. Langley's kick doesn't find the grey shirt. And now Hassani can nod it clear up towards Ward. He's going to pick it up on the halfway line, right-hand side of the pitch. Plays it down the line, looking for the run of Campbell, and was asking a lot of him there, and that goes out for a goal kick. Well, Ross, we're waiting to see how quickly he'll take this goal kick as he takes it across to more or less the middle of the goal to take this goal kick. It's unusual. You don't normally see that there. It's near either side. There we go. He takes the goal kick now as Aaron Martin wins the header, but it bounces out in front of the Woking dugout for a throw. Moss trying to get the fourth official to burn down some time to check the ball there.
There's the things you got to do.
Jevons plays the ball down the line. Wilkins hits it forward on his falls. Ollie puts it over the top. Going to ask a lot of Blackett, but he's going to chase it down. Ross has come out of his goal, clears the ball. Out of play it goes, and they've lost their composure, Woking, at the moment. If Gateshead can get one back in the next few minutes, it's going to make a very, very interesting end to this game. As Conter turns his man. Going to give it to Magnay in the centre circle. Looks to play the ball forward. He sees the run of... Oh, lovely. Martin nods it on. I thought he was going to get it through to Gallagher. Martin still chasing it down as Lofthouse... Well, Lofthouse is lying again like he's been harpooned, would be the best way to describe it. He's kicking the ground. I think he must have broke both legs the way he's reacting. No, he's all right. He only got a nudge in the back. Oh, play acting at its best. 85 minutes on the clock. You would say 8 or 9 minutes remain in total. We've added on. Ross with the free kick. Right up there. That's going to bounce. And Conte. Well, it's been kept in by Brown, but only as far as Gallagher. Gallagher plays it to Martin, who's dropped deep to help out. Conte plays the ball forward. And Killerman managed to get a foot in front of Ward. And now, there we go. Jevon Mills clears it in turn right up towards the halfway lane. The captain, Casey, receives the ball, plays it down the line, deflects off Hassani, and it's a throw in halfway inside the gated half.
I mean, it would be nice to see Gateshead get another goal now, just to really lift the morale of everyone, the whole club, the fans, the players. We've seen the power
great
of it.
Strong work from Aaron Martin. Plays the ball out to the left-hand side. It's scooped away from him there, but can Gallagher keep it in? He can.
Oh, it went out.
Oh, my words. Now, he won the tackle, won the ball, and look at that. He rolled back onto the pitch there to stop the play. Does Moss. And, well, what can you say about that? That's what an experienced side does, to try and burn down the clock. He rolled back onto the pitch to stop the game from being played. Free kick to Woken. Well, Ross is going to take this one. 45 yards out, right next to the right-hand touchline. Ross takes this. Pumps it up towards the corner flag. Brown wins the header, goes inside. Langley claims the ball, quickly rolls it out to Hassani. Hassani plays it down the line to Ward. Ward's touch just let him down. And now Woking on the break again here as Woking gives it out to Brown. Brown's going to cut it back, going to fall to Lofthouse, but he couldn't control it. Now Anderson lays it off. And they're going to try and build here again down the right-hand side this time as Moss, the man that was down before, handles the ball. And they've been pulled back. And it's a free kick to Gateshead as we have 3 minutes remain here. Well, Langley with the free kick. Well, as time ticks away, so does Gateshead's chances of getting something out of this game. So the last 10, 15 minutes have been positive, but, you know, game hasn't played over 15 minutes. But if you're looking for positives, how dangerous will we be with a fully fit side?
Absolutely,
you know? And I think Ian Watson said as much as well in the midweek interview that when we come back, we've got some of the better players in the league. And, you know, we've showed flashes here against one of the better sides in the league.
Yeah. And just the power of one player that's come back from injuries completely changed the mindsets of his team and installed a bit of belief in us.
As will Conte, just beaten to the ball, but Mills can put it over the top. Blackett, he's onside. If he can get through, Wilkinson heads it and kicks it back. Campbell goes for a shot from outside the box, takes a deflection, it's going to loop. Oh, keeper has to poke it over the bar. Oh.
No, that was so safe.
It certainly was. He was doing it running backwards.
It was harder than it looked.
Man of the match for Gateshead this afternoon. Number 28, Owen Gallagher.
Well, Owen Gallagher receives man of the match, but we have a corner here to Gateshead. In it comes towards the back post. Magnier tries to nod it back across. He does. It's going to fall in the box. Can we get a shot off? Oh, and Aaron Martin swung at it. Didn't get the connection, and the keeper just smothers that one. And we've got 1 minute and 10 seconds remain here of normal time. The referee's assistant, or the fourth official, hasn't went for the board yet to signal how long. And as the ball goes up towards Magni, who heads it back up towards the halfway line. Campbell beaten in the air. Hassani nods it forward. Casey headed in it. Killerman puts it back towards Casey, who controls it. Now plays it down the line. Magni is there to give it to Ollie. Ollie gives it to Conte. Now Mills back to Langley, who's nearly wrong-footed there. Clears the ball up the pitch towards Dan Ward. It's a little bit scrappy at the minute, up in the air. Handball, free kick to Gateshead, quickly taken. The referee wants it pulled back just as well because it was awful. 4 minutes of added on time we're going to see here, and we are 15 seconds from going into that now. Is there going to be a grandstand finish, or will we be made to rue the first half performance? 4 minutes there added on, and we're into that now.
Minimum of 4 minutes additional time. Minimum of 4 minutes.
I mean, we can always look at the positives, Charlotte, but we've got to look at the negatives. The way we've conceded goals here this afternoon, you know, we didn't really make Woking work that hard for them, in truth. You know, people starting to make their way out of the Tyne-and-Wear stand. They've seen enough this afternoon as Woking have a throw in here.
And I mean, that's the majority of the goals conceded for this season. We've pretty much gifted teams goals, and it can't be happening. Because what happens is it doesn't just make you lose games; it makes you the morale of the team completely changes. Players' heads go down. People start to become frustrated.
Well, you know, we've got to look forward now. Obviously, they'll look back and pick the bones out of this and try and, you know, learn and, you know, get better from this game. But they go to Scunthorpe on Tuesday, who are in the relegation zone. I don't know what their score is at the moment. I presume they might still be there on Tuesday night. But Scunthorpe, a team that's in a lot of trouble, we need to go there and capitalise. And if we can play like we have in the last 15, 20 minutes, then we're going to be dangerous. But them defensive errors have to be wiped out. Well, they're playing in the corner now at the moment, or Woking. They're happy to do that as the ball's played off. Gated player for a throw right next to the corner flag. Once again, apologies for the technical difficulties just after half time, where you missed Woking's third goal, where Wilkinson slotted into the net after didn't get the ball cleared in the box from a set piece. And Anderson, one of the goal scorers, wrestles with Conter and Ollie in the corner flag, and he's holding it up well, but it's a free kick to Gateshead here, and Anderson needs to calm it down. Referee goes over to say as much. Well, you would say this is the last attack if Langley can get this ball up there. Goes up towards Aaron Martin. Martin wins the header, directs it towards Blackett, but it comes back towards Martin, who brings it down, but he had 4 players around him. But Gallagher manages to get in front of 2, gets the ball back, dispossessed. And now Woking can clear the ball to Lofthouse here on the right-hand side, who cuts in. Gallagher does well. And, Lofthouse is down injured again. He doesn't like being tackled. So he's still down at the moment as well. Well, the winner throw in here, or a free kick in front of the dugout. And Lofthouse, yeah, he's lying flat on the deck. Well, another break in play. And Ollie gets a yellow card for talking in the referee's ear. Well, let's hope some of these yellow cards don't come back to haunt us for things like that. I know frustrations, will be riding high in the Gated team, but Ollie's the captain. He doesn't need to be in the referee's ear like that and receive a yellow for nothing.
124 away. Thank you very much for your attendance today. I will announce the next game again.
Well, the referee's telling them to get on with this free kick. There we go. Launched up towards the corner flag again as the ball bounces through. Langley will quickly take this goal kick.
As I said, thank you for your attendance. Next home game for the first team is against Solihull.
Ball played up towards Gallagher, and that is the full-time whistle. Gateshead gave it a fighting chance in the last 20 minutes and brought it back to 3-1. But the 70 minutes before that were woeful at times. We were the maker of our own downfall. concentration levels at the back have to improve.
And I mean, it took, 70 minutes for the dynamic of the game to change. And there was a word that I used there, and it was something belief. Aaron Martin came on and he gave the whole team some belief. Why did that not happen during the 70 minutes? All it takes is one leader to install that belief in everyone, and it uplifts them.
It certainly does. Well, I'm sure Mike Williamson and Ian Watson and his team will be looking back at this game. They will have seen what we've seen. They'll want to improve that. They'll want to wipe that out. As Mike Williamson gives a round of applause to the home fans as he goes down the tunnel. And it's been a bad day at the office. That's the way you're going to have to go about this one. But we'll come back. We fight another day. We go down to Scunthorpe on Tuesday looking for a better performance and 3 points. Charlotte, thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. Thank you to everyone that has tuned in. We will be back for the next home game, and follow us on social media for our next podcast. Might be Monday night or Thursday night. Keep an eye out on social media.